Okay, what we have is a 1964 33 horsepower Johnson. This is the lower unit. You have to pull the lower unit first, of course. I'm in my office because it's cold out in the shop today, and it's miserable outside, so my wife's probably going to kill me, but I'm in here. She'll be okay. She's over there working. So my attempt is today to do an instructional video on rebuilding this gearbox, this lower unit gearbox. So the first thing we're going to do is drain the oil, and the reason I say my attempt to video this is because I am going to try and use the movie studio and put videos together and break it down and put videos together. I've never done that. I'm a mechanic, not a videographer. So the first thing we're going to do right here is we're going to pull the vent right there, and then of course hopefully you know, do not pull the that one right there is a Phillips head. Do not pull it. The vent tube or the drain is under here. It's also a flathead. This one will take your gear rod loose. You will take it off later, but we don't want to do that right now. So this is, we'll get that draining. Got water in the oil. So we got water in the oil. Most definitely got water in the oil. Not a lot, it doesn't appear, but a little bit in there. But we definitely want to get that out of there. We're going to rebuild it anyway. It's jumping out of gear, so it's probably the clutch dog. This video will be added to some other ones to put it in there together. But this is just draining it, and then we'll be back in a minute. All right, so this is part two, which we're, like I said, is going to try to put videos together. So we've got it drained out, got a little bit of water in there, not bad, but a little bit, as you can see there. We're going to pull the prop, pull the pin on the prop here, and then you'll slide the dowel pin out of the prop in there, and then pull this out, the prop shear pin, pull the prop off, and then we will take these bolts out right here, all of these. And then once those are out, we'll be able to pull this off. Then we can remove the screw. Some do it now, and you don't have to. You could work it out and pull it out and leave it in there, but that's up to you. I'll leave that up to you, but we'll get a video of that shortly. All right, so you're gonna use an impact driver to take these loose. In most cases, they're pretty tight, and you don't want to break them or bend them or booger them. So we're gonna try to do it with an impact driver and see how it works here. Make sure we got it flipped the right way. Yep. And I'm gonna have to change bits on it, but you get the idea. They'll back them out. We'll be back. So Rick's here helping me. We're getting these. We got this out, so we're pulling these last two. We'd already loosened them, getting those two. Left those in to get this out. Putting it in the box here, keeping all my parts together. He's gonna pull these two. He come by, he took his mom to the hospital to get her eye worked on. He's a good son. Yes. She calls him a son anyway. I don't know if there's anything following that or not, but there we go. Last one, so we're gonna pull the cap off, free it up and pull it off. So you had water in there, and then that seal right there. There's a seal right there. We'll replace that seal, and then he's gonna hold that. Gonna pull this up, flip it over, and you have this little guy right here that moves the clutch dog. Gonna pull that out. That has to go back in the right way. Oh, drop that. And then we're gonna look at the teeth on the clutch dog right here when we're going into gear. And we're gonna see that they look blurry. Yeah, I'll start the next video. Give me just a second. All right, we're back. Cleaned the oil off the end of the camera. So these get worn right here. We can't see it real good till we get it up out of there. This one looks really good. That one does look somewhat worn. And then it could be the teeth going into there that's worn, but we'll just have to see. we get it apart. So we're gonna lift this up out of here now. We're gonna lift this up out. That shouldn't be out like that either. That goes down in there, okay. All right, and I'll get this out and get it cleaned up and on the bench, and we'll go from there. Gonna lift straight out on this. All right, so we're gonna pull this up out of here, straight up out of here. Gonna move this over till we can get it out. Lost the bearing race on it, but it's just pulled straight up out of there. It has to go in a certain way when it goes back, but we're gonna get it cleaned up, and then we'll show you what's going on with the clutch dog and see where we're at. All right, so we're adding this video to the others. This is a 1964 33 horse. If you don't remember that, we're going to pull this off. This is going to pull the gearing off. This is forward gear. And yeah, it had some water in there. We're going to clean it out in here, and then we're going to look at the gears once we get it all cleaned up to see where it latches, the clutch dog latches in. It was jumping out of gear. And then this is our clutch dog. Some people call it a dog clutch, clutch dog. We're going to clean it up and see if it's got any wear marks on it. It actually looks pretty good, but we will get it all cleaned up and see where it's at. And then we will go from there. And then this is all reverse and all the way back. Clean all the bearings. There's a seal right here that we'll remove and put back. Put a new one in, and then we'll put a new prop seal in also, which will be in here, a new prop seal. You want to keep all this in order, but if you did get it out of order, then you would look it up online or have a book. But we've got a new seal kit for this, so we're going to put new seals in it and all that good stuff. Make sure everything's good and clean, get it all cleaned up like new, and then we'll get it back together with a new clutch dog, or see where we're worn out at and go from there. Catch you in a few. So we're attempting to do the video into a one long video in short sections. This is the back plate where this goes. The two holes are where you put something in and tap out the bushing. If you don't have a tool, you can just use like a nail or something, put in there and drive this seal out. This is your prop seal for the 33. It's a 1965. I said 64, but my brain's dead. They didn't make one in 64. You push it out right there, and this seal, as you can see, is really shot. It's just not in good shape. So we'll replace that, and then the O-ring goes on the outside after it's cleaned up. We will replace that also. The gears look really good. The gears look great in it. Not a lot of wear at all. Just a hair of wear right here on where the clutch dog goes in. Not enough to really affect it much, to be honest. It probably just wasn't going all the way in, but we tried to adjust it. So let's see here. Just gonna get my camera to focus. There we go. You can see just the wear right there on the edge. And then, you can see the wear a little bit, not too bad. It's got a little wear on it, but anyway, we'll take care of that. And I believe I have a new one back here on the shelf. Put on it and put it all back together, and we'll keep you posted on it. So I'm adding this to the video. That's marineengine.com, marineengine.com. This is the breakdown of how that 1965 33 horse goes. 1965 33 horse. That's the breakdown of the gear case itself. Just the gears itself, but we'll just put that in there for you so you'd have it. And then we will start putting ours back together when we get it all cleaned up, get our new seals and everything for it. So all right, as we're going back together, you want to slide your clutch dog on from your forward gear side. You want to slide it on. It's going to bump right there and stop. Should bump right there and stop. And I always use. I like fogging oil. Some people don't like it. I like it because it sticks pretty good. You can put grease on them or whatever. Then there's the washer, and then you put your first gear in. after you've cleaned everything up, your forward gear. It's not first gear, it's forward gear. Don't drop the bearings. Let's see here, bear with me. So we're gonna put forward gear on, and then we're gonna put our bearing on. Once again, I have to move the phone here to do that, but our bearing and our bearing race, it's all coated with fogging oil. It's a gooey type oil. And then we'll start towards the back here in just a few minutes. Okay, so here we are again. We started here, and I don't remember what I said last time, but we put the clutch dog on first, and that's your new clutch dog. And then it comes back to reverse. You slide reverse on, but you put the washer in first. Then you slide the reverse gear on, and then you put the little plate on here. It's got the ears on it. It goes on like so. It's got the little brass inside, so it goes on like so. And I've got oil on this. I've got fogging oil because it sticks really well. Then we slide the forward on. There is a washer inside of it also. Put the washer on, slide the forward on, and slide the bearing on the front, and slide this back on, the bearing race. And then we will put the bearing on the back here. I'm gonna put the bearing back on, and then we're gonna rebuild this with the new bushing, or with the new seal. This goes on next, like so, and it'll go on in a minute, but this goes on. That's your snap ring, which is not really a snap ring, but it is a snap ring. And then we'll put this on with this, and then we will put it back in and go from there. Okay, so we got this back together with the new seals in it, all that. I think I have video showing that. I don't remember. I'm old, I'm tired. Got the new gasket in here, got it cleaned up and got the new gasket in. Glued it a little bit with 847. It's my glue of choice. Glued it and put it in. Now we come over here, and when we were cleaning all this in here, the pinion gear slipped up a little bit. So, and of course when that happens, the bearings decide they don't want to stay in place. So our next step is to put a little bit of grease on the bearings and get them back in. Get them all in place, and then we'll get everything set back in. And we will continue the video. Okay, so I couldn't hold the video and do this, and I couldn't have her hold the light and do this. Anyway, so when you're putting this back in, you have to pull this up a little bit, drop this in. This ring right here, this snap ring, has to go in the groove below there, and has to go in and press down into that groove. This has to fit. There's a slot in there. It has to be in that slot. And then this back here has a pin that comes up that it has to go in for this to go in place right. Then your front bearing will ride right. Everything will ride right. And then you'll take this, and you have a sleeve that goes over it. Let me grab it. The sleeve that goes over this. So it looks like here, and then this will go over it and fit down into it, and then this will shift your gears back and forth, your new clutch dog back and forth into gear. So that's how that works. That allows the clutch dog to spin, all of that, and then we'll put our cover on. We'll clean all this off really good, and then we'll put a little bit of adhesive here. I like 847. Others use the exact thing you're supposed to use. This is just what I've been taught to use, and I like it. So it's 847 glue, and then I'll show you that right here. I've already glued this one in here. Then we'll trim these off and press this in, put glue here a little bit and here. You shouldn't need it, but we will glue those in. Make sure that's glued there. And then glue it in a little bit and press it on, and then tighten it down, torque it to specs. We'll get you another video in a minute. So got it back together, got everything got a little bit of glue on there, got them all snug. Now I'm gonna just tap them a little bit, each one in a counter or in a clockwise direction here, just to make sure that they're good and snug. Cross them up like you would head bolts on a car, back and forth until you're done. And then we're going to let it dry overnight before we try and put oil in it.